You're back with another one. This time we got top 10 most anticipated new action fantasy anime still to come out in 2022 to 2023. And I'm on something something different, so hopefully no more technical difficulties. I'm back on Streamlabs, as you can see, because OBS failed me. So let me unpin you from taskbar. OBS failed me for the last time. So if you guys had a couple of requests from the last time that I've done, it should still be, the file should still be here. Yeah. So all of these videos all had no mic audio. If you guys, you know, requested it within the last couple of days, or you got a hearted with the last, like, you know, yesterday or whatever, it is not coming out because OBS sucks. And you wouldn't be able to hear me, so there's no point. It's just playing the video back again. So, anyways, let's get started on the new era, back on the better software, Streamlabs. Let's get it. This is top 10 most anticipated new action anime, fantasy anime, still to come out in 2022 to 2023 by VinnyTube. Let's get it.
Can see you really like action anime, that or rom-coms, and it makes sense, I suppose, because they're the two most common genre in the mainstream sphere, it seems. But today we're going to be looking at the former. This year and the next year have a lot of promising titles, and I'd like to share some of them with you, so something to look forward to, I guess. These are what I think are the top 10 most anticipated new action anime fantasy this 2022 and 2023. For the sake of keeping the list full of new titles with potential and remakes, I'll be excluding sequels from this list. But
okay.
Before that, why don't we look at this
Good.
fighting game that's set to take the world by
That's how I like that's how I like my anime list. I like them where, you know, it's not a lot of redone. I'm a little tired, I'm gonna be honest. My brain is on negative because I spent a couple of hours recording earlier. And it's all gone, so I'm still frustrated, but you know, the show must go on. But yeah, I like fresh new titles, is what I'm saying on this top 10 list.
Inglis has gotten all he wanted. He's not only a mighty knight, but he's also a ruler of a
Putting part season 2s feel like it's kind of cheating.
Can get lonely. What meaning is there to life without thrills, without challenges, and without enemies to stand in your way? Thus, he wishes to live again, this time as a warrior, just like how he used to be. So, wish granted. Inglis finds himself reborn as a daughter of a minor noble family thanks to the patron goddess Alistia, and now she finds herself in a pinch due to her status making her ineligible for knighthood. Setbacks, challenges, adversity, all of these are just obstacles Inglis has to overcome as she now strives to defeat all that's in her way and become a new legend, a true noble master of the blade. Move over, people getting reincarnated from the real world to a fantasy world. Reborn to master the blade takes the reincarnation premise to a slightly different direction and adds a dash of gender bender to it too. Pretty much the tags and genres you'd find in web novels that are picking up steam. If you're a fan of those tropes and tags, then this one's for you. This anime comes to us early next year and I'm looking forward to seeing this one.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Monogatari, alright.
Tsukumogami, objects possessed by spirits, thus granting them a physical form. Some may be malevolent, some may be kind, but one thing's true. Members of the Seinomi clan task themselves with peacefully sending those spirits back to the spirit world. However, Yoma looks at these spirits with little to no favor due to his past, and his violent outbursts cause his grandfather to send him off to live with.
I won't be happy I will be happy, but I'll be very happy if I see Unordinary end up on this list of things, because he already mentioned the comics, you know, and Unordinary is so good. I don't think it's done yet. I'm pretty sure she's still dropping chapters of it, but once she's done, they need to snap that right up, because that's such a good anime.
Botan, a girl who lives with a family.
It's not animated yet, but you know what I mean.
When Yoma managed to overcome his anger at these spirits, will he be doomed to live a life of rage forever? This obviously has nothing to do with the famous Monogatari series, but they both deal with supernatural beings. This one, subtitled Malevolent Spirits, does feel more something like Jujutsu Kaisen and Bleach. It is, however,
okay,
a
I like
title
it.
Published under Ultra Jump, the label that brought us recent JoJo titles and the manga adaptations of some niche modern titles like No Gun's Life. No release date has been posted as the time of this writing, but it's good to keep an eye out on this title.
No Gun's Life? I tried to watch that. Isn't that the one where he got the gun for a head? Or for a face? No Guns Life. Pretty sure that's the one where his head is a gun. I literally watched the first episode and I saw his head was a gun and I was like, bro, what? It's so stupid, and I just stopped watching. I mean, like, I'm always willing to go back, but I don't know. I was just looking for a new anime to watch at the time. That's I think that's when I started watching Hajime no Ippo.
Adaptation at number 8, Arc Knights.
Prelude to Dawn. Okay.
I've always reiterated that video game adaptations can be hit or miss. They could range from nonsensical to something that's truly amazing, even as a standalone title. Recently, I've got to say that I've warmed up a lot to them, largely due to the momentum given by titles like the Fate Grand Order adaptations, Princess Connect, and even lesser-known titles like Tact of. Arknights, welcome to the party. With the game being a massive success for quite some time already, it's not surprising that this tower defense would be the next to join the ever-growing line of gacha game adaptations. A game set in the post-apocalyptic planet of Terra and having a cast of cute girls with animal ears, it's no surprise that Yostar Pictures saw potential in making a full-blown anime out of this. We've already got a one-shot of the anime, but the full TV series is another thing. Whether you're a fan of the game itself or just someone who just loves sci-fi titles with a lot of waifus, the anime series Arknights Prelude to Dawn will be for you. Who knows, it could even pull a Princess Connect Season 2 and end up being one of the top shows in its season. Here's something that could sound
pretty
familiar.
cool.
Demon Sword Master of Excalibur Academy. Okay, tell me if you've heard this premise before. Lord of Darkness that was put in stasis awakens after millennia, waking up in the form of a young man and to a world that has completely changed through the passage of time. If you're a fan of those, then this is for you. Demon Sword
Already
Master,
into
in
it.
contrast, takes place in a world where humanity continues to fight the voids, monsters that have nearly eradicated humanity. Awakened after 1,000 years, Dark Lord Leonis finds himself saved from a void by the beautiful Ryzelia. He then enrolls in Excalibur Academy, the last bastion of resistance against the voids, where he looks to both uncover the events of the past and come to terms with the modern era. The latter is especially important, as it seems that those monsters have a mysterious connection to his past. It's a premise that's tried and true, but it never ceases to be awesome. I'm very excited about this show, as this is a genre that I really like. Who knows, if it manages to pull it off big time in terms of executional self-awareness, it could even carve out a niche like Misfit of Demon King Academy did.
Okay.
Up next is Chained Soldier.
Chain Soldier. This is going so fast. This is already going so fast. Okay, so please tell me that someone put the okay, good. Demon. Okay, well, we saw the next one. I can't hide that one. But so far this one is definitely going to be watched. I'm definitely going to watch that one. That's the only one that's like seems amazing to me. Too bad it is. I think that's the one they said it didn't have a release date yet. But that one, this thing's really good. This one too, I really messed with so far. And yeah, let's continue.
Every once in a while, you get these urban fantasy titles about monsters from other dimensions and superpowered people fighting them. This genre was pretty big back then with the likes of Shakugan no Shana and the Persona games and anime titles.
So pretty.
So it's nice to see another one joining their ranks with Chained Soldier. Lucky or unlucky, depends on how you see it, protag is Yuki, who finds himself lost in Amato, an entrance to a different dimension filled with unspeakable horrors. This time, he gets saved by the badass Gyoka. However, instead of the usual trope of quickly integrating the protagonist into her squad, Gyoka has other ideas. Yeah, she'll work with Yuki alright, but it's for her own gain, and he'll be joining the anti-demon corps as a slave. Not exactly the most ideal position, but perhaps Yuki is someone who doesn't mind as much. Chained Soldier, if the character designs don't give it away, is the brainchild of the person who gave us Akame ga Kill. Very similar vibes going for it, and the same badass band of female fighters that work with audience surrogate main character. The setup of character dynamics, judging by the premise, seems pretty unique, and it's certainly going to be quite the different spin on the genre that had its time in the spotlight a decade ago.
It's always real interesting when somebody comes, like, someone makes a hit anime and then they come back years later. It's like, I got another one. It's like, bro, alright, let's see what you got. It's just like Eden Zero and Fairy Tail.
Series on this list.
Even though to this point it's not that good compared to Ruby Rose.
Ruby's not a new name. The hit animated series has been going on for quite some time now, and it's popular enough to even get manga adaptations. However, as a full-fledged anime with the style that we've all come to love, well, this is a first. However, for those who aren't familiar with the series, Ruby Ice Queendom takes place in Remnant, a world fans of the show will be familiar with. A world where people and faunas live under the threat of the monstrous Grimm. Facing them are huntresses, armed with their weapons and powers. One such group is Team Ruby. Ruby, Wise, Blake and Yang all have different backgrounds and mercurial personalities, but they come together in adventures that put them against the most dangerous threats, the Grimm and the extremist group White Fang. This is the alternative version of the series that fans have been waiting for. Ice Queendom won't be a hard reboot, and it will instead start out being faithful to the original before setting off to be its own thing. A new adventure that gives fans a chance to meet new and familiar faces alike. To those who wanted to experience the story but weren't around back in the day, well, now's your chance to do so in a brand new anime form.
It's crazy that he says that because, like, I literally was around back in the day. I was watching Rooster Teeth back then, and when they were talking about, I was watching the Rooster Teeth podcast back then too. They were talking about like, oh, how Ruby is that still a thing? How Ruby was their new like thing they were going on with Montione, and like they're trying to get it off the ground, and they keep talking about it, but then I wasn't like interested in it because I was like, it's Rooster Teeth. Is it really going to be a good anime? Oh my goodness, they still have the podcast. Oh my goodness, Gus looks so old now, Gavin. Bro, this is a blast from the past. I have not watched this in dog. I was a little when I was watching this. A little. I'm gonna have to put this on the watch later just for the strength, the memories. Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
And of course, mandatory isekai reincarnated as a sword is the next entry. Throughout the decade, we've seen a lot of takes on the isekai/reincarnation genre. We've had the standard isekai,
too much, honestly,
getting reincarnated as all sorts of things: slime, spider, whatnot. Well, how about a sword this time? Finding himself transformed into a sword in the middle of a forest, the protagonist becomes instrumental in saving the life of an injured girl, Fran. Turns out Fran is not just any ordinary cat girl. She is, after all, a member of the maltreated Black Cats. Together with the sword, who she names Shisho, she forms a formidable team looking to fight for liberation and justice. Just when I thought isekais were running out of fresh new ideas, the genre proves me wrong yet again. From what I can see, this is a story of adventure and growth, but I'm most excited about the dynamic between Fran and Shisho.
Ridiculous.
The two unlock each other's potential in battle, but I can also see a lot of personal growth through their bond. I've not read the novel yet, but with those expectations, I feel that this is going to be one of the upcoming isekai titles that will garner quite a nice level of popularity. This title seems to have some potential, and we'll only have to wait until October to see if I'm correct or not.
It's getting ridiculous, bro. He was reincarnated as a sword. Now we getting reincarnated. First we getting reincarnated into like new worlds. Then we move on to being reincarnated into creatures, spiders, and now swords, inanimate objects we're getting reincarnated into. Come on now. I feel like we're just running out of ideas. I'm gonna give it a chance when it comes out because I've felt the same way about slime as soon as it came out, and then now I love slime. But I'm gonna give it a chance, but it just feels like we're running out of ideas. Come on now.
With Ragnar Crimson. Ragnar Crimson takes place in a world ruled by dragons. Whether it be the land, sea or sky, these creatures of legend hold dominion, and only those who have surpassed human limits can even hope to wrest control out of these monsters' hands. One such adventurer is the dragon hunter Ragnar. With victory as his only goal, he teams up with the mysterious Crimson. Crimson's motivations are shrouded with the air of mystery, but one thing is clear: the two will stop at nothing short of victory and the destruction of the dragon monarchs. Ragnar Crimson looks like one of those old-school, traditional-style adventure series. Perhaps knowing it's published in Enix Square Manga can answer the question why. Ragnar Crimson seems to be one that sticks to a formula but jumps out with some nice subversions immediately to keep the series very interesting to follow. The action scenes are great, and the manga has been a nice read to keep my age for these kinds of old-school JRPG adventures satisfied. Ragnar Crimson airs this 2023.
Okay. This sounds pretty good. I like the style.
In Shadow is the second placer for today's list.
誰もが子供の頃にヒーローに憧れるようにそうなりたいと思った 影の実力者に。
A lot
So,
of us have had our Chunibyo
he's
phase.
Deku?
Remember those good old days where we just let our imaginations run wild with no care about what other people thought or if we'd get laughed at for our outrageous claims and edgy worlds we'd cook up in our minds? Sid Gargano is privy to such machinations, wanting to be a true mastermind, a true overlord that pulls the strings of the shadow organization that rules the world. Reborn.
What he said there is very true. I once had a like in my head fan fiction about Pokemon Ranger. I was just like, I've always been a little romantic. I'm not gonna lie, I was romantic, but I had a fan fiction that like the female trainer, and then I was the male trainer, and then like we were in the lava thing, whatever, and then like I ended up dying somehow, and then she carried on and finished the mission, and it was like, oh no, and then somehow I came back. It didn't make no sense. It didn't make no sense at all, but it was so fun to do back in the day.
Magic, he finally finds an avenue for those plans of his. Pretending to be a mob character, he starts recruiting people into his organization's Shadow Garden. Unfortunately, his organization isn't the only thing present in this world. Danger lurks in the shadows as the mysterious Diabolus cult seems to have found its way into this world as well. It's an isekai, but it's a power fantasy in a different way. Instead of Sid being the hero who rises and fights the evil cult, he just wants to live a secluded life, all according to plan, before eventually revealing himself to be the mastermind of it all. It's a good read thanks to the premise and buoyed by the attractive girls with their personality dynamics, another light novel staple of course. It's a novel that doesn't take itself too seriously, but why should it be with that premise? If it delivers in the entertainment department, which it does, things will be a-okay.
This is even like a good list. I'm not gonna lie, because I might have to watch like 8 out of 10 of these so far. 6 out of 10 of these so far, because it's for the first
Finishing up
like
the list is what
4
I
of
think is
them
the
I was
most
not interested in.
anticipated non-sequel action-adventure anime of the coming year, Hell's Paradise. I've always said that first impressions make an impact, big time, and with a title like that, it sure gets the job done. Gets people interested, gets them wondering what it's all about. And man, does Hell's Paradise make one great impression from the get-go. The immortal Gabimaru the Hollow stands at death's door. Execution awaits him, yet his body and spirit refuse to let him pass on due to his resolve to return to his family. Instead of a man refusing to die, his executioner instead sees the most powerful asset of them all, thus giving Gabimaru a new purpose. He's to join an expedition to an island believed to be paradise itself. It's here where the elixir of life is supposed to be found, and what better mercenary to have than someone immortal. With dangers that make the island more akin to hell, Gabimaru may have finally found his match. Hell's Paradise is one of the top rising stars among shonen manga. It combines a lot of the more serious action story beats with a high-stakes adventure full of thrills. It promises something
Dang, well, they got me again.
Usual shonen jump fare of idealistic teen heroes and powers instead of going on a much darker route. If you want to know what the buzz is all about, there's only one way to find out. Watch it.
They got me again, bro. They got me again. Hell's Paradise?
I haven't even talked about sequels to some of the most popular action series out there. Rest assured, the
might have to
rest
do
of
that.
2022 and 2023 will be big for fans of action-adventure anime. Is there any other title that you have your eyes on?
Okay, so Hell's Paradise? Yep. Oh. That one. It's going to. Oh, wait. There we go. Hell's Paradise. Whenever that's animated, I'll be in there. And dubbed, of course. Eminence in the Shadow. That's gonna be in there too. That sounded very cool. Which one was Ranga Crimson again?
Up next, we go old school with Land, Sea, or Sky. These
Yep, that one got me too. That one got me too. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What was Reborn to Master Blade again?
My list begins with Reborn to Master all he wanted. Thrills without Bliss finds himself reborn as a daughter of
7.
a minor noble family.
7. Yeah, 7. There's a lot of isekai though. That's a lot of isekai. But yeah, why do I keep forgetting about that? Chain Soldier, that's going. Ruby, I've never really been too interested in Ruby. I'm gonna be honest. Even like I said back in the day when it was first coming out, I could have watched it from the jump. I just chose not to. Uncle Crimson. What would you guys rate Ruby? Like how good would it be? And let me leave you on that that question of the day. All right, what would Ruby be? What would you guys rate Ruby out of 10? Make sure y'all also like the video, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.